your adventures with in the Enigma Ziggurat, instructing the three of you to remain in Liberio in preparation for your other companions and a great delegation to join you, accompanied with the hurried message of Sebastian, be ready to run if it goes poorly. Who knows what that means?
Wow, that's exciting.
And so, here in Liberio, you've been able to enjoy a little bit of a vacation and a break, because several weeks have passed as you've waited, while the other group catches up with some political machinations and some traveling around. So, lacking anything else to occupy yourselves with, you have been invited to some rather fine accommodations, as some of the contacts arranged by Baron von Moldenberg, who is Veo's one of Veo's adoptive fathers. He pulled some strings and made some contacts to arrange several things. You have been brought up to speed on what has happened so far. So the group of you know about the duel. You know about the circuit. These three know about the duel. They know about everything that the other group has encountered. And at this point, they've also received word about Lenore's passing. And so you know that the other group is making their way to Liberio. And in the next few days, you'll be expecting as well some delegations from Caspia to show up too.
Love that. Does that mean that I know that I was part of the Illyrian deal? Like that? Do I know that?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. And so the three of you have been invited to stay as a guest of a very important individual in Liberio. She hasn't had too much time to meet with the three of you personally, but Consa Isabella Ezio is a bold middle-aged noblewoman who often dresses modestly, despite the fact that she has served 3 terms as the consul of the Republic of Liberio, the highest elected office in the city. You have been given guest rooms in her villa as diplomatic guests of Westamar and the Academy, and basically had your free reign to explore Liberio as you see fit, and see to whatever else you might need to do as you await this upcoming delegation, which will be occurring in the assembly chambers of Liberio. As a result, Isabella Ezio has been rather flustered with all of the extra preparations that she's had to arrange with her team to pay host to the politics of the other nations of the continent.
Classic.
I imagine that I am sitting in a nice chair somewhere with my feet up on a desk that they probably shouldn't be up on, and I'm finishing a cup of coffee and popping a bottle of Caspian wine and pouring it into the coffee cup. Just the transition period, you know?
What you can imagine is Isabella Ezio's villa is an elongated building that has its own sort of great pillared veranda and a garden with a fountain. And so, while she is not the wealthiest citizen in Liberio, part of what has allowed her to secure her position is her very down-to-earth nature with the people. And so there's kind of this balcony porch that overlooks several of the canals and gardens of Liberio, where you've been able to spend your time lounging, Sebastian, and on a cushioned recliner. And it seems like the hosts are rather annoyed because you found out about Isabel Ezio's her own wine cellar, and have been gradually making your way through the vintages.
Yeah. It's, this is the
This
life.
looks expensive. Chugs it.
Yeah. Guys.
I walk in with like arms full of just like cheap trinkets to be like, do you think this will be enough for my grandkids and my kids to see all the cool things we've seen? Because they wouldn't even believe this place.
How many kids do you have again?
Like 10.
No, that's not that's
Plus
enough for like
three, maybe fourth grandbaby's probably already here.
Wow, you probably need at least 3 times more trinkets.
My room is already pretty full of trinkets. I don't know how I'm gonna get them back. I don't have no bag of holding like you have one, right?
Yeah.
Can I borrow it?
It's half filled with wine that I took from the wine cellar, but you can have the other half.
Perfect.
Well,
It
there's
means I
also
don't
a
have
quarter
to,
of it. Yeah,
you know,
you can
get
have
it
whatever
sent
space is
back.
in there.
Perfect. All right. My grandbaby's gonna love all these trinkets.
And Wrath, what have you been up to?
Speaking of trinkets, Wrath has been making small little totems of Bruce, and he's been leaving them in different places, almost like the eyes of Bruce, the feelers. It's the extensions, the whiskers of Bruce. They continue to penetrate through the world. He also has come to draw like it's like this. It's almost like a graffiti, and it's like it's a little very simple picture of a cat face, and he draws that in inconspicuous places, like underneath things and like in tall places, and he tries to do it when no one's looking.
Do we notice?
Oh yeah, you've walked by several of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'll be standing on like a weird, like on like a balcony, like reaching out over a balcony to try to draw it on it, just trying to leave little marks. He's realizing that Bruce, there needs to be more. I need to make his presence more real in this world, and this is my tribute to him.
Wrath, he's already a real cat. He's already real in the world. How can you make him more real?
Rudy, this is not even what you have witnessed, what you have experienced of Bruce. This is a mere idol to him. He is so much more. And as he begins to leave his trail and have feelings and a presence in this world, he can slowly draw himself through the thin places and make his presence truly one to marvel towards. You will meet him, and he will embrace you.
I hope so. I've helped him through a couple
I just hope you don't
events.
you don't die during the embrace.
No, not either, Wrath.
I
Just
hope I
listen.
don't die during the embrace. I only
You're-
wish to be so strong.
You're already part of the academy. Please don't go starting like an alternate like cult or anything like that. Just please save that for after we deal with all this stuff.
This is not a cult. No. This is much more organized. This is
I love it.
this is a devotion.
I'm sure most people in cults would say that too. So just be mindful of where your head's at with this. All right? I gave him the
Only
mom
I
finger.
may serve Bruce. It's a single person cult.
As you're doing this, I'm ripping off pieces of like stale muffin and just tossing them towards Bruce. And just like, and I'm like, but he's such a cuddly, wuddly guy, isn't he? And
Has he
I
gained
give him,
weight? Well,
I give him some like neck.
I'm sure the
scratches,
downtime,
you know, like-
has
And I'm petting him and like giving him little muffin bits.
Is how's Bruce feel towards Sebastian? I imagine that he would enjoy the extra attention.
As you throw more morsels towards Bruce, a familiar voice speaks over the balcony and says, "Don't encourage my brother's mangy creature. We really don't know where it's been or where it's come from."
But he's so cute. Like, come on. You just want to feed him and give him pets.
"Yeah, I don't know about that," says River, as she steps out onto the balcony, clad in more formal-looking academy robes, almost as if normally you would see River in a rather restrained outfit that would be more befitting of an adventurer. But here in Liberio, where academy wizards are a very common sight and quite respected, she is wearing more traditional academy garb, like the more fuller robes that you would expect.
I'm standing between these tents, or
As she
whatever you
steps
call
out
them,
onto the balcony,
for
Joel
increased rested XP.
The two of them say, Eldrick says, "In any case, you've been having a very easy time of it the past several weeks anyways. There's much that we need to be prepared for as the king and the High King make their way towards Liberio."
Who ranks higher? Like king, high king? Is high king technically higher because of the word high, or is that just like...
The way the Caspians do it is very, very complicated, because there was a time when every single one of the 6 Caspian houses wanted their title to be king, and now they go by Prince Elector. But then in the intervening period, they still have the title of High King. It's all very complicated and very simple at the same time. But suffice to say, Venus Joplin is the highest authority, the highest political authority in Caspia, and our equivalent in Westamar is Wilhelm von Kessel, and they are all making their way here for this wonderful show of bragging where your life is in the balance.
That's delightful. Can you imagine? We have
You don't have to imagine. I think it's happening, Sebastian. And I'm
fair.
sure your friends did it without doing that lightly. I'm sure that they've got your interests at heart in this.
Veo and Pluto are there. I'm 100% confident that we are fine. And if we're not fine, River Eldrick, I'm good, right? Like we have a backup plan and probably a backup plan, right?
River nods. "Oh yeah, there's no chance that we were ever going to hand you over to them. But it is a little bit of a reminder. Can we actually trust this Wilhelm von Kessel to make sure that the Academy is going to have its interests represented properly? I mean, he was going to just turn he put your life on the line, Sebastian."
I don't think that's right. I think the Illyrians put his life on the line from what I heard. It is not up to the king, to push those buttons. He's trying to do what he does best for everyone. And the Academy has been on top for a very long time. So you best watch your mouth when it comes to speaking ill of our king, ma'am.
It's a bit of a tough situation. Like, I've been hanging out with these two who are the BFFs of Wilhelm. And, I mean, they seem pretty cool. So, by default, I would assume Wilhelm is cool, but I've also met...
I guess this is enough. I will run back to leveling.
Brush your teeth twice a day, and it's like, just shut up, man. So, I mean...
He does sound like that, doesn't he?
That's actually quite accurate, yeah.
There you go. It was a good Wilhelm impression. We actually sound a little bit alike, which is kind of funny, but...
look like them.
A little bit.
No. No, he's got the eye patch and the blonde hair. We don't look anything alike. But does he represent the Academy well? I mean, why? What did he say?
It's just concerning, that's all. The Academy in these negotiations needs to be seen as an equal partner, not some sort of bargaining chip that the people of Westamar, the Illyrians, and the Caspians can just throw around as if they can control us. Part of the Edicts of Lumen is that we have autonomy and protection under the law. They are responsible for protecting us. I just totally clicked OBS and made it click off into another scene. I am so sorry, everybody. The nations of this continent have as much responsibility to the Academy as we do to them.
I mean, I agree. I think there's equality needed in all the steps moving forward, but you know, there's also the consideration that the Academy's had their run of it for quite a long time. So maybe a little bit of, rules in place to make sure that everyone does have equal footing is very important.
We are in a delicate place. The Directorate of the Academy has their very particular interests in mind. A path that they don't wish to waver from.
Eldrick, with all due respect, and, you know, I was having a good time, but now we're bringing the seriousness into this conversation, so I guess I gotta stop drinking wine. I push the bottle away. We have met one Academy director. Myself. Wrath, I assume you have met at least two, seeing as... Anyway, they're doing some crazy stuff, and I mean, yeah, I've kind of been taking it easy, but also we have a potential army being sold to our enemies by the Academy directors. I don't really know what's going on anymore. Like, I feel like we represent the Academy, but the directors are they all like Alabaster?
Not all of them, but...
Good.
Well, suffice to say that the Directorate has very particular interests, and interests that they want to make sure are protected.
No offense, Raph, about your father, but
It's just best to follow their rules. The
that's it.
Academy, it offers a place to perform and be become who you were supposed to be, and you know, my father has always dealt with those things. He's always experimenting, and he's a very busy man. The Directorate leads us, and the Academy has stood for eons, and I believe it will continue. Things are just the way they are.
But Wrath, how can you say follow the Directorate when they want to conjure up their right in the Edicts of Lumen, but want to live above it? I say that ain't right. I say you either, come to toe with what the king wants and have an equal setting at the table, or if you want to try to live above it, you face consequences of what that means.
I'm not really one for following the rules. I didn't get where I am by obeying the Academy to the T. I think the secret of the academy, and unfortunately, oh man, I'm just drawing some wild conclusions in my head right now. Okay. The interesting thing is that the academy presents itself as something that likes to play by the rules and live by the rules, but really all of us are kind of just pushing the envelope. And now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm realizing that maybe I have some stuff in common with the directorate, and I'm starting to get a little concerned about that.
All I'm saying is you can't raise a household of 10 kids without no rules, or else that's just utter chaos. There is a balance. I agree with you. Don't follow every rule. Wilhelm was a little bit strict on his, but I think there is a balance to be made for making sure there are boundaries to what we live by.
We do the best we can in the confines of our space, and the directorate is just who they are. They are those that carry the head of the academy, and we do what we can to continually to feed their obsessions and their guidance, and in return we are blessed with many rewards.
What about your obsessions, Wrath? What about your obsessions?
I have
They respect
many
them?
obsessions, and they do not respect. You are right. There was friction with Bruce, always has been, as River so plainly stated, and I have had to find ways to navigate that space, and I believe I have found a working relationship, and it is what it is. But when I am crowned the great mage of Drakkenheim, there will be an opportunity for me to rise above and continue to... Oh, someone else's...
That's a bit of a precocious statement, young.
Wilhelm trusts me, he knows me, and he knows I will follow at least 5 of his rules, so that puts me well ahead of the competition.
Do you know what the role is even called? And that you do know that there's no crown, right? We're not putting a crown. Nope.
A crown would ruin my hair, so I have no intention of wearing any crown.
Right. Well, we have a great deal of business to attend to in the meantime. With the delegations en route, the Lord Commander and the Prince Paluto Jackson are due in Liberio shortly. Rudy, you and Wrath are to take your places alongside the king, who will be arriving a few days later at this point. We are to make sure that handoff happens a little bit smoothly. There is a rather large prize being transported on foot, which is why it's been taking several weeks for them to get here. Otherwise, we would have teleported them here. But they're transporting a trophy of one Big Linda.
That's so cool.
Big Linda.
Yes.
A beheaded monstrosity from the ruins of Drakkenheim.
I almost killed it once. Almost.
What happened?
We were tricked, and it didn't work out, but we were very close, and we were very brave, and nothing terrible happened. We weren't imprisoned. I don't know why I said that.
In the meantime, Rudy and Wrath, you are to come with me, and I will be leading you back to rejoin the King of Westamar. But in the Wilhelm is looking forward to seeing the two of you. As for you, Sebastian, you can take this, and he passes you a staff. You and River are to go down to the legislature and begin placing arcane wards in place for in preparation for Venus Joplin arriving.
All right. I can do that.
Mighty important job, Sebastian. Working your way up.
This is
River
not my favorite work, but
River snorts. These are chores, Eldrick. Yes, they're chores. Do them.
rejoin the academy, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
A hard day's work will do you good.
Is this
Smack him on the back.
Is this goodbye, Sebastian? For now?
Is it? Guys, it's been so fun. I mean, it hasn't always been fun. There was the dragon monsters. There was the many interesting conversations with your cat, Raph. There was your terrible father, Raph. There was the whole Queen of Thieves debacle. There was, you know, it's been as fun as it could be. And I think the both of you are pretty awesome.
Thank you. I mean, you're not too bad yourself, considering they said you were going to be trouble. And I mean, we were a little bit of trouble, but not so much trouble that we couldn't handle you.
Yeah, you made things more difficult. However, I am looking forward to we spoke briefly, and I do believe there is a way to travel to the places you need to go to.
Raph, we're going to need to have some more conversations in the future.
And I have not forgotten, because I do wish to go to those places myself. And you are a sturdy companion, even though you do get into trouble. I see that you can get yourself out of it, so I hope we can go to those places soon.
Just don't join the cult. Please don't join this cult.
No, you may join. We need more members.
If
It's also not a
anybody's
cult.
trouble, it's this little guy. And I go down and like just scratch Bruce's face. And
Bruce
I'm like, I'll
purrs.
see you later. Oh man, I'm gonna miss him most of all.
He has taken a bond to you.
Oh yeah. Cats like me?
He will likely not eat you as he first arrives.
I appreciate that, Raph. Thank you. You're
I
a
just-
very weird guy.
I don't know.
And I like you.
actually don't know, but I just assume.
Do we hug?
No.
Okay.
I'd bear hug you and like pick you up and then put you down.
Okay.
You'll
Hey.
do fine.
Oh, you cracked my back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, it's been a slice.
Try
And-
not to be drunk.
And with that, Rudy and Wrath head out, and Sebastian and River, you two head off to do your chores at the legislature to prepare the arcane wards. Some time passes, and by the end of the day, Rudy and Wrath, you will rejoin the procession. That the larger kind of entourage is only like a day's ride out of Liberio, but it'll take it a couple days. That because it's a big group of people, it'll take it longer than what two people. Am I making sense there? Like you two can travel to that to rejoin Wilhelm faster than Wilhelm can get to Liberio, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be a day there, day that. And on the flip side, Pluto and Veo will be arriving in the city alongside the Steel Fangs, who are kind of coming as a vanguard to prepare the security. The question is, which group would we like to reunite first?
The hoods. The hood group.
Oh,
Am I back to Wilhelm? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Only one of us is a switch costume.
Yeah, this is more convenient.
Yeah.
It's simply a costume
Okay.
I miss being Rudy.
Get your eye back in.
All right.
All right.
Wilhelm,
Step on up.
Yes.
you've been on the road
See you later.
now for several weeks, traveling. Since Lenore's funeral, you and Kat parted ways peacefully, but she left behind the gift. Have you opened that gift?
I am doing so right now.
Okay. Do you want to do that with Rudy and Wrath, or
Oh, yeah, perhaps
Okay.
I'll wait for them,
okay?
I guess. I was eager. I was getting excited. but
Okay.
I'll wait for my friends.
Should I be inspecting this gift from this Queen of Thieves? I mean, we ran into her. She's quite a mighty amount of trouble.
Wait, are we
I-
back together right now?
Well, there is a Rudy and Wrath. The two of you are brought to rejoin the caravan upon phantom steeds conjured by Eldric, riding along these ethereal horses, which Bruce does not like. You were able to
I'll dismiss him for that.
rapidly rejoin
Trip.
the approaching procession of the King of Westamar as they march towards Liberio. It is a great battalion of Hooded Lantern soldiers and Steel Fang mercenaries, along with a few Caspian warriors of House Jackson as well. As you ride up, the Lord Commander, you do ride past the Lord Commander and Paluto Jackson as you switch. And as you rejoin the rest of the group, the Elias Drexel, the Lieutenant Commander, welcomes you back into the group and leads you towards Wilhelm, who is riding atop his new suit of armor at the front of the procession. And you're able to ride up beside as you're all trotting along the roads, overlooking Liberio.
My friends, I have missed your faces.
Well, I'm glad to see that those two other ones kept you alive and well.
Oh,
Yes, we
they
heard.
did.
You were attacked.
I was attacked by robots. I was attacked by religious cultists. I was attacked by a giant lizard. I was attacked by tentacle eyeball things in a throne room. I was attacked by my former aunt. Veo almost died multiple times trying to protect me.
I mean, good. As
It
she
was-
should, as she should.
That's her job.
It was her job, and I think I realize now that she takes her job more seriously than I thought. She was all like, "Oh, cookies for everybody," and but turns out she's actually quite dedicated, and I'm impressed. Pluto is, Pluto. He hits things with a sword and says some things, and he's a very fun person to be around.
I'm kind of concerned with the amount of things that attacked you, so I'm glad to be back in your company so we can hopefully avoid that happening going forward.
Yes, I won't lie. When a robot had grabbed me by the shoulder and there was a blade going into my gut, my thought was, I wish Rudy was here right now. So there is that. I did think of you in the moment where I thought I might die. Wrath, I thought of you sort of afterwards, and, you were there too.
I hope the thought was at least me yelling at you that you get in that situation where someone gets close enough to stab you.
Yeah, how did you let them get so close to stab you?
I shook their hand.
That is classic.
Maybe we need to start some like self-defense lessons or something.
Maybe like
because
just
obviously,
a rule, like a
Manners
rule,
maketh the man. It is a rule. Shake people's hands when they're introducing themselves. I'm sorry.
all right, maybe we need to have
I'm
someone
sorry.
empowered to shake someone's hand preemptively, and then you can shake their hand. We just need to put a little bit of distance between you and the people
Yes,
that are going to
if
stab you.
I let me shake their hands, and
Let Wrath do it.
I will
Mhm.
see into their souls, and I will determine if they are worthy to engage with you, or I will kill them.
I'm sorry, I just missed you so much, and I'm actually gonna grab Wrath and give him a hug. And just like, you crazy guy. I give him like an old punch on the shoulder. Yeah, you can kill my enemies, Wrath. I missed you.
Oh, well, sounds like you got a lot of them now, so we best be on our toes going forward. Make sure, with this, shenanigans in Liberio go smoothly and no more attempts on your life.
That would be preferable, honestly. It's, Drakkenheim's not a fun place. I don't like it there.
Not at all.
Now, as reunited at last, you will be camping out one more night before you do arrive in Liberio proper. Wilhelm, you have still had the gift that Katarina left you. And it's been pondering over whether or not it is, whether or not you should open it, given the warnings of boxes that that have been left in Katarina's care before, or that she's left behind before.
Wrath, I got this box, this gift from Katarina, my cousin. Some know her as the Queen of Thieves. Although she seemed genuine and sincere during the funeral for her mother, my aunt, towards the end of our conversation, she slipped into what I would assume is, I'm going to refer to the two sides of her as Queen of Thieves and Katarina von Kessel, and I think I caught a glimpse of the Queen of Thieves for the first time. Now, I like to imagine that this gift is something pleasant, something meant for a family member, but if you could perhaps use your magic sense to determine if things are traps, summon traps, determine traps, is that the name of a spell? Determine traps, if you could cast that on this box, just to make sure that it's not going to explode, maybe cast, is this a bomb, question mark, or something of that sort.
This is your cousin?
Yes.
We did steal many boxes from her. Tiny little chests.
Which the two of you actually have.
Yes. This could be a revenge box. I do not mind investigating it. I know you rattled off a bunch of nonsense just now. Just hand it to me and I'll just hopefully not die.
All right.
There's no way for you to identify the nature of this at all?
You can give me an Arcana check if you want.
All right. Because it's in a
magic.
box, right? Because I can't,
Yeah.
so I can't actually touch the object yet, right?
Well, you could examine if the box has any magic on it.
Okay, I'm gonna try casting Identify on the box.
Okay. The box is arcane locked. And that the only two people that can open it are Katarina, the only member of House von Kessel can open it.
Ooh.
Oh.
My future king.
Yes.
I can't open it.
What you do realize, though, is that there are other magic items inside it. The box is it's about the size of a jewelry box, perhaps about 10 inches long, and about 4 by 4 in height and depth.
If she was capable and she assisted us on her journey towards, she was obsessed with meeting my father. She has talked to him. After their discussion, we were able to part ways. She seems to be. I know the others are fearful of her, yet I do not fully comprehend why. If she is truly your cousin, do you believe her to want to harm you?
I mean, I'm basing a lot of the assumptions that this could be a trap on the stories of the other three. My interactions with her were that of talking to a distant family member. The only glimpse I caught of something different was towards the end of our conversations, where, I mean, she's always been a bit of a rascal. And that rascally nature has become some sort of deep-seated want to manipulate and control. And I caught a glimpse of that at the end. She wanted to manipulate me.
We noticed that too in our dealings with her. She's very shifty when it comes to trying to figure her out and what her aims are.
But scary, I don't see it. I mean, the other three maybe just are easily manipulated. I don't know.
Yeah, the one's an idiot.
Are you referring to Sebastian, the one that you've spent time with? Is he an idiot?
No, that Caspian.
Oh, no, Pluto, you know, he's smarter than he looks. I will say he's got a good heart, and heart counts for something, I think, sometimes.
Not necessarily brains, though.
It has the most protein and iron of all of the edible organs. I think that it is worth opening. This does not appear to be malicious of any kind, at least until now. And if it is, we will. I don't know. I guess there's a cleric nearby.
Let the Lord Commander go. We need.
Raph, actually, before I open this box, I'm just I pull out the scroll of resurrection and I hand it to him, and I'm like, just in case.
Where'd you get that?
This is
Don't.
incredibly rare.
I realize. You know what I'm saying. Rule number 26, expect everything's a trap and you'll stay alive. But in this case, I expect it's a trap, but I'm going to open the box.
See you around.
I said, go for it.
You open the box, and it is a box, and as you open it,
It's a box.
inside is a cushioned lining with seven depressed divots in the cushioning, each of which holds a single brilliant blue sapphire. So there are 7 sapphires in all.
There's a dwarven weaponsmith in Stormwind, Grimond Elmore, who sent word that he needs help.
I
with a
don't
delivery.
remember
I
having
believe
an
he wants a
affinity for
package sent to his
sapphire.
homeland in the north, Honor friend. You have a sturdy
I'm
pair on
trying
you,
to figure
so
out
if
if
you're
this is
interested in
some sort of
legwork, then speak with
inside
Grimond. We could use you down
family
here, but we
thing
must also keep our
between
ties
myself
strong
and
with the dwarves.
Katarina
You
that
can
I have
find Grimond
forgotten.
Elmore at the weapon shop in the dwarven district of
I'm
Stormwind,
confused.
in the northeast section of town.
Wrath. Is there anything magical about the sapphires?
I'm gonna pick up I'm gonna pick up the far left sapphire.
Okay.
And I'm like over
and
your shoulder.
I'm
so
gonna
interested.
I want to investigate it.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I don't know how to investigate. Can I cast identify again?
Sure. You cast identify, examining the
Closest
stone.
I can do. Yeah.
This stone
Takes me a bit. It takes me a bit.
is the focus for an instant summons spell. Crushing this sapphire will bring whatever object is associated with that sapphire into your hand.
I'm gonna really look into the sapphire. Is there
Sure.
anything
Um,
that appears different between each sapphire?
Roll a d20 as you peer deeply into the sapphire.
Oh. Deeply. I get a 14.
As you peer into the sapphire, you feel for a moment as if you have met this individual before, and she is currently carrying there's like a magic in it that you can't pull the magic in because someone's carrying it, and you realize that the item that you're focusing on is the Lord Commander's seal. And if you were to break the sapphire now, because Veo is carrying the Lord's Commander's seal, it wouldn't the summoning wouldn't work.
Oh my.
She's handed us the seals of Drakkenheim.
And as you go through the rest of the gemstones, you realize that 2 of the gemstones actually are not assigned. Because the Queen of Thieves never possessed the inscrutable staff or the crown of Westamar. So she was never able to put an instant summons on those. But there's
But everything else.
But everything else has an instant summons on it.
This is an unexpected act of goodwill?
Why would she give this to you? Why? So you can get them, maybe to give them to her, or to get them yourself.
She's
What
again.
did she say to you?
Towards the end, she suggested that maybe my life would be easier if I gave up the quest for the crown. But that was the only manipulative thing that left her mouth, and it was technically warranted because I was discussing the hardships I had faced recently in what I would consider a casual family conversation of catching up. Beyond that, she just spoke as Katerina. She was mourning her mother. She was happy to see me. We talked about memories, old duels, and masquerade balls at the castle. I mean, for what it's worth, other than a small glimpse of what could be considered an attempt at manipulation, this gift is an act of kindness. It is showing that she trusts me and my path. She wants me to have the seals of Drakkenheim. She wants me to control them. She
Why would she have
had
that conversation with you if she was going to give you this.
because it's my choice. Also, the fact that she had these is quite scary, but the fact that she's given them up is... Maybe the other three have her all wrong.
These may also be not the only copy.
Is that possible? Can you have more than one summoning stone? I don't know. You would know, Wrath. Your magic.
Give me an Arcana check, Wrath.
Of course, Rudy, hold on.
Don't you have, like, advantage on Arcana checks or something of that sort? There's something that gives you something.
I have proficiency now. So I got a 29.
Well, yeah. Technically speaking, an object could be affected by multiple instances of the instant summon spell.
I do not know if this is the case.
This is the case. Right here.
However, I also missed you, Wilhelm.
And yeah, basically,
So literal.
yeah.
If she has given you this gift, she may truly believe that you are the one that can rule Drakkenheim.
Perhaps. She, again, has always been a bit of a rascal. So, based on the stories I've heard and the reputation she holds, although she did admit that some of her reputation is probably exaggerated.
Stories do that, yeah.
I will keep her in my thoughts, in kindness, in generosity of this gift, and I will hope for the best from her and for her. But I will keep my eye on her when I can, and I am not going to readily trust everything that she does or says yet. But also, so far, I have no reason to fear her or assume she's lying.
Let's hope she doesn't give us a reason.
Well, with that, that's where we'll wrap things up for tonight. Thank you, as always, to our amazing cast, Kelly, Jill, and Joe, for playing 2 different characters tonight.
Yay!
Yes.
I miss Fruity so much.
A lot of fun.
I was happy to switch back to Sebastian, and I missed him, and now I can't wait to switch back to him again.
Yes.
But that was a ton of fun. Thank you as well to Kyle for behind the scenes, all of the stuff he does. I miss his thumb. And a huge thank you to our Dungeon Master, Monty Martin, for an incredible game, getting back into the swing of things with some beautiful roleplay, catching up with both parties. And we're about to bring everything back together, it looks like. So excited for the weeks to come.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Indeed, indeed. Lots more action in store as we get back into the swing of things, I think. I'm looking forward to that very much. As we zoom out for this evening, Joe, I don't think we have we had some maps from the book.
In our normal stream games, we use a variety of incredible assets produced by talented artists. We hope to showcase these in our future games. In the meantime, check out the Drakkenheim PDF for some amazing maps, and we hope you can enjoy the new Kickstarter and what's to come.
First, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store. You can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts, including Yes, 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 Troll Killer, all the fun ones. So check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
Oh, that sucks. Hardcore character died.
Because we have an incredible group of Patreon supporters who back us up. If you enjoy the work that we do here on Twitch and YouTube and elsewhere, please consider becoming a patron of our show by following the links in the description below.
We also have a phenomenal Discord community exclusive for our patrons where you can discuss the latest episodes of Drakkenheim. You can also discuss a lot of other things, all things D&D, but new to our Discord channel, because our playtest for Sebastian Crow's Guide to Drakkenheim is going to be launching very soon, we have a bunch of new places to chat about the playtesting, the apothecary class, all of the subclasses, all of the new spells in the book. So if you hop into our Discord, you can chat with Monty, myself, and even Jill and Joe about all of the cool stuff going on with the new Kickstarter, with the last Kickstarter, and with the show, or anything else you feel like talking to us about.
And with that, thank you. We got new videos coming out every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube. Check it out, youtube.com/Dungeon Dudes.
And you can also join us next Tuesday when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes, or you can check us out on YouTube when the videos go up there on Fridays, or as an audio-only podcast that also goes up on Fridays.
Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time as we decide the fate of Drakkenheim.
Har du et enkeltpersonforetak eller en liten bedrift? Bla, 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 bla. Fiken. Superenkelt regnskap.
Good evening and welcome back to the fate of Drakkenheim. This is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live stream campaign, and my name is Monty Martin, running our game as Dungeon Master.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Sebastian Crow, the half-elf shadow sorcerer, and we're joined today by our good friends.
Jill Donitis playing Veosenia, the Tabaxi Gloomstalker Ranger Rogue.
And Joe O'Gorman playing Pluto Jackson, the human battle master.
Thank you for joining us once again. If you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome. We're the Dungeon Dudes, and Kelly and I post new videos every other Tuesday and every Thursday on our YouTube channel where we cover everything D&D. So check us out at youtube.com/Dungeon Dudes.
You can also join us on Tuesday nights when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on our YouTube channel, or check us out as an audio-only podcast as well.
And we just want to send an amazing thank you out to all of our Patreon supporters. They make the work that we do here and Dungeons of Drakkenheim, all of our streams, possible. So we'll have more information on how you can help support the show at the tail end of the episode. But with that, let us return to Drakkenheim.
Drakkenheim is no more. The devastation which fell upon that accursed place left a kingdom in ruin. Now, horrors lurking in the haze grow ever more great and terrible, while simmering tensions between rival factions boil over into outright war. The power of monarchs, mages, and priests hangs in the balance. 6 unlikely heroes join forces to confront the coming chaos. They shall decide, once and for all, the fate of Drakkenheim.
Welcome back to the fate of Drakkenheim. When last we left our heroes, we were in the midst of some reunions and reshuffling, as both our groups of heroes, Veo, Sebastian, and Pluto, as well as Wilhelm, Rudy, and Wrath, have now reunited with their original companions as they all gather upon the free city of Liberio, located on the great center of the Middle Sea, almost that crowning jewel of the entire continent, where the people of Liberio are an independent city-state, separate from but deeply involved with the politics of the great powers of the continent, Illyria, Caspia, and Westamar, because they lie right in the middle of all 3 of these great nations. Our heroes are about to converge here on supposedly neutral ground to discuss the final round of negotiations with the Illyrian delegation from the Silver Order and resolve their duel with High Paladin Uriel Radley. As a special guest at this event who will decide the victor of the duel between Pluto, Wilhelm, and Veo, as well as Uriel Radley and his companions, Venus Joplin, the High King of Caspia, is making her way towards the city, as are allegedly the Lord Regent of Illyria to join in the final round of these negotiations. With so many diplomats and delegations that are coming in towards Liberio, the city is abuzz with nervous energy. all throughout the streets, you can tell that the people of Liberio are rather nervous to be hosting such powerful individuals from their nations. And as you head along the streets and even through the local taverns and the businesses and marketplaces, just as many of the people of Liberio talk about their stories and memories and experiences of all the times that Liberio has been attacked, invaded, and conquered by Caspia, Illyria, and Westamar, because all of them have done it at least once.
In good years.
Over the history of the continent, Liberio has been invaded and conquered by all of the great powers, and Liberio has only won its independence with a hard-fought rejection of the politics of the established nations. And so there is an air of distrust that is palpable as the people of the city see those who are openly wearing the delegations of the other nations. Normally, the people of Liberio are happy to trade with anybody, no matter where you are from or who you are. But the involvement of the politics of their former conquerors, setting a bit of a sour energy and a sour mood amongst the normally jovial people of Liberio. Meanwhile, Veo and Pluto, you have made your way through the streets of Liberio, a fantastic city, towards the villa of Isabella Ezio. She is the elected consul of the legislature of Liberio. Liberio is a democratic city-state, but it has a unique form of democracy. For the people of Liberio are distrustful of elections, and so in Liberio, one of the legislative houses, one of the government houses, the assembly, is actually chosen by lottery, and the other legislative house is chosen by election. And so Isabella Ezio is the consul that leads the elected house, but within the city, this doesn't give her anywhere near the political power that the monarchs of the great nations would have. Nevertheless, she has opted to host all of you, and as you are brought through the city, her villa is a long building that is built around an open air quad that overlooks several gardens in a finer area of the city, but certainly her personal home is by no means the vast manor houses that you would expect from the nobility of the larger nations of the continent. Definitely one of the larger homes in Liberio, but nothing compared to a palace by any stretch. As you are brought through the doors, you're brought out to the back balcony. You're ushered through the doors, past the colonnades and up the stairs to the rear balcony, where Sebastian Crow is lounging over a bottle of wine.
But look at this guy. Lounging around while we've been doing so much work.
Relaxing, just hanging out. I mean,
I'll have you know that I am sitting on a field of victory. Okay, maybe not. I've been busy too. I've earned this rest. How are you guys?
I fall on you in the chair to hug you.
And I jump on top of both of you.
We all fall off the chair into a pile on the ground, and I'm ruffling your hair, and oh my god, plural gods, multiple. I don't know. I missed you guys.
We missed you too.
It was so tough without you. You know how you have no idea how many times we needed you. Everything that you bring to the table, we were like, we'll just do this, and then Sebastian will. Oh no!
Oh no! I will never take magic for granted again.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm sure that whatever you guys did would have gone a lot smoother if I was there. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure we handled everything pretty amazingly. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing this. I really missed you guys, and I actually didn't know what to do without you. And I'm trying to be cool right now, but I
Sebastian, you don't need to be cool for us. You just are cool.
Guys, I've never been cool, and Pluto Veo, I don't never leave me again, and never go anywhere without me, and I don't think I'm capable of handling the things I thought I was good at handling without you guys by my side, and I missed you. I missed the way that you murder people, Veo and Pluto. I missed your Wrath and Rudy. I would like try to get some try to get some fun comments out of them, or like get them to be like, I killed a demon once, and like nothing.
They're a serious bunch. They're a serious bunch.
Yeah, they're on a different weird level. Like
Wrath he was pretty cool, but
yeah, Wilhelm is just, I think he's got a lot on his plate, obviously, but yeah, he has this book that he just follows rigorously, and just going on and on about his all these problems that he can't overcome, and he just rhymes them off like we have the book too, like we have them memorized. It's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
we just miss your go with the flow, Sebastian.
Yeah,
it made it so much easier just to do.
It was just like trying to convince him to do stuff, and we're just like, and then he would
rules,
just do
rules, you know,
wild things. Like, yeah, we need you. Like, I think we were so used to a more casual approach to.
Although I did save his life, and almost died twice.
Yeah. They almost died.
Why? How?
Assassination attempts.
Assassin and robots. But then the second one was.
I'm sorry.
That was my own fault, actually. I can't remember.
Lenore, yeah.
Through a delirium wall. That was my bad. But.
Did you? Okay, wait. Hold on. There's a lot to unpack there. I'm sorry. Lenore.
Yeah.
What about her? She's dead, isn't she? She died in the castle in like, I don't know, when we were there.
Nope.
She was like, I will stay behind in this basement and live out the rest of my days. And we were like, all right, bye.
She
was living her days,
yeah,
but
she lived his days.
And she tried to kill you?
Yeah.
Travel north along the river and
We
find the
tried to kill
guards,
her,
or
for
they
the
will
record.
The Stormwind army
To be
is placed
fair.
a bounty on
Yeah,
all
in
our
all-
armies.
we did come in a bit aggressively.
Slaughter them
We-
and bring me
you
the
know.
victory.
Why were you trying to
And the
kill
Stormwind
Lenore?
army will reward you well.
I mean,
So
The Murlocs
there's
have
this.
built
She
a
didn't
village at
suffer,
Stone
you
Cairn
know.
So
Lake north of
long
here,
story
and
short,
another to the south
we
where the
were
stream
basically
forks.
fighting for your life.
Looks to me you've seen
And
quite a bit
we
of
made
Oh,
a
I
bet.
heard about this.
Yeah, we made a
If you
bet,
haven't already,
and
you should
we
report
totally
to
realized that
Brian
we should have
Stoutmantle.
included you.
He heads up the people's
afterwards.
militia aimed at
Yeah.
protecting
Oh, don't even
farms
worry
and
about that. Tell me,
I bet he could
how
use your help.
angry
You can usually find him
were
in
the
stone tower on
Illyrians?
Sentinel
Were they
Road,
really
just off the
angry,
road.
or were they just a little angry?
so
Hail
angry.
adventurers.
So angry that they were
Wild enemies are
willing
growing
to
more and
kill
more
you.
aggressive the farther we
That's a
get to
lot.
Goldshire, and
Yeah.
the Eastvale logging camp suffers
That's a
from the
lot.
constant attacks from wolves and
Yeah.
bears.
But we
Um,
wouldn't
Need
let
your
them.
help out
We
here.
would not let them.
okay, now about this other thing. The robots, assassin robots. Tell me more about that.
Wilhelm shook their hand, and then they tried to kill him.
Yeah,
What
they
if-
were.
I guess he didn't shake their hand properly. I don't know. They were coming after him. It was very
Who sent them?
aggressive. We don't know.
Veo made a deal with Blackjack Mel
Blackjack
to try to
Mel.
get some info. We're still waiting. I'm sure Blackjack Mel's good for it, but in the meantime, yeah, we don't know. But I have to tell you, Sebastian, they really gave off an academy vibe.
It's very magical.
I mean, and I know, but like, I mean, I know we've dealt with if I'm not saying that it's necessarily the academy, but like it could be off academy. Like, remember what Oscar was pulling? You know, remember what Ryan Graymer, like, it had that air of someone that had a lot of specialization. They were scary.
I may have so while you guys were gone, we got the scepter of Saint Vitruvio.
You got it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like, mission accomplished.
You were supposed to just go check things out.
More than mission accomplished. Good job.
We went to check things out, and then we found things, and then we took things, and then we ended up in the Enigma Ziggurat. And then we were talking to an academy director, and then the academy director was making deals with the Queen of Thieves about a robot army.
A robot army?
The academy director was making delirium-infused robots that may or may not be assassins. So there's some connections here that we probably need to investigate.
Holy macaroni.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
That can't be a coincidence that that's what we came up against, because there
Well,
definitely was delirium.
They had delirium. They had like, they weren't like, I don't know what a robot is, but these things were like, they looked like a man, but they weren't a man. They were like made of other material, and they sort of like walked and talked around and moved, and they just were after Wilhelm.
It's more likely that you'd use the term automaton or construct over robot.
Bringing automatons.
Constructs.
Automacons. I have to obviously mispronounce it.
Oh, you guys don't have
by simple
automatons?
nature.
We had a few hanging around in school, but, you know.
I mean, the only ones I've ever seen are like the dragon at the castle.
Well, it reminds me of River's Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these things were much more like River's Guardian just seems like a pile of metal that was, you know, sort of like slow moving and sort of like ominous, but these things were like built for a single purpose, and that was to murder Wilhelm. they were very determined.
Relentless.
And as we said, like Veo sacrificed basically herself to stop it.
Then the question kind of becomes, was that the Academy director, Alabaster? Or was that the Queen of Thieves? Or was that another third party who also has access to automatons, who wants Wilhelm? Who?
Are there owls in here? They get in here? The Alabaster? Who?
Oh, one of the Academy directors, the first one that I've ever actually met in person, and he was terrible. And it was Wrath's dad, which made it even more awkward and uncomfortable. And Wrath was like, I thought that it was going to be cool. I thought Wrath would be like, Dad, you don't own me. But instead he was like, Dad, you do own me, and I will do whatever you say. And like, bow down to the all great and powerful director who's telling me that I am garbage. And it was I don't know, I thought Wrath was kind of cool. It's weird. He presents himself as having so much confidence and such a backbone, but the moment he got in front of his dad, he was just like, bleh. And
Bleh.
I'm totally like, I'm probably gonna like run things. soon.
What?
Yeah,
How- what-
I've been
Run things?
working on things, but I think what you may have discovered might be connected to whatever came after Wilhelm. That
This is going to require further investigation. Why would the Queen of Thieves want Wilhelm dead is one question. Why would we need to find out who wants Wilhelm dead, and I'm sure there's a lot of people, sometimes me, but
We did
more
hear a lot
often
about
other people.
the nobles, and they have a little bit of beef with him right now because he hasn't really gone around and done the tour that he would normally do. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate, so totally understandable, but there's some unhappy people out there with Wilhelm.
I guess that also begs the question, besides the fact that the Illyrians are really upset with me because their soldiers tried to murder us, so I murdered them back.
Right.
Besides that, how did the negotiations go? Are we at war? Are we...
So we basically boiled it down to a duel.
As you would,
yep.
Pluto.
Yep. And we're actually going to be settling it here.
I think this is going to position us to be more stronger in the negotiations.
Let's hope. Politics aren't really my thing. I was just told that I'm supposed to stay here because we're preparing for a bragging match. Is that right?
By the way, not to brag, but we killed Big Linda.
She was bigger.
We got big
Without
old-
me?
Not you were there in spirit.
Yeah, you were cheering us on, buddy.
On the sidelines. The old
We were doing it in
little
your
slugger.
honor.
Yeah.
In
Wait.
your honor.
The one enemy that the three of us couldn't defeat, you guys defeated with Wilhelm?
Something like that.
Oh.
Maybe. Yes.
It was mostly Veo.
No. It was team effort. Team effort.
Yeah, Wilhelm really didn't do anything. He just watched.
So the two of you, without me, wow. Anyway, I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. I'm a little mad, but I'm
We
mostly
did go in
impressed.
prepared knowing what we were going kind of. Well, she
Yeah.
did change a lot and was very much delirium.
She's currently regenerating at any
Infested.
moment, and you.
I
have to be
thought-
very.
So that was
careful.
different.
I thought she was devoured by rats.
Oh, she was, and then I think she swallowed some of them because I went inside her mouth and there was a bunch of rats in there and they were eating me. Anyways, hey, what are you talking about? You were supposed to go on a stealth mission to just check things out, and you stole the scepter of Saint Vitruvio.
I stole a lot of things. Stole some hearts as well.
Classic.
Like literal hearts?
Yeah. Do you have
Actually-
a bag of hearts? Like,
I hold up
Because I-
a bag of hearts.
Got some meat apples in that bag there. Okay.
But also, if you guys haven't explored Liberio yet, the muffins are incredible. The coffee's great. There's this incredible thing. It's like an iced dessert. They call it gelatea or something of that sort. I think it's with an accent, I believe. A Liberio.
sounds awful.
So what you're saying is we may have fought Big Linda, but you sampled the taste of Loberio
Without
without me.
As you finish that sentence, a voice speaks out from the edge of the balcony saying, "Yes, and he's spent the rest of the past several weeks drinking his way through my wine cellar. But that is Liberian hospitality for you."
Thank you for that, by the way.
The woman there is the consul Isabella Azio. She's a middle-aged woman with long brown hair that has been tied back in a ponytail, and she's wearing modest clothing for a politician of her stature. aside from the chains that mark her as the consul of the city. And as she steps out onto onto her own terrace, she continues and says, all of the lovely things that you have been enjoying in Liberio are now in a little bit of a disarray with all of the, shall I say, turmoil that has been brought upon the city by hosting you all as guests. But the good news is that the assembly did vote this morning unanimously to, not unanimously of course, but they did vote to allow the monarchs of the nations to enter the city.
I thought this was the free city and people could come and go as they wanted to.
Free people can come and go as they want to. But a monarch is another matter entirely, especially when they're coming in under guard.
Why did we plan the whole event for here if there was going to be an issue?
Because it seems that the leaders of Westamar, Illyria, and Caspia are up to their usual expectations that they can simply walk all over the city and demand whatever they want from us at any point in time, despite us being our own sovereign city-state.
I've already talked to Deputy Rayner about clearing the animals.
You sound angry, and
On behalf of
everyone,
everyone,
I might just make my deadline.
your counselor, I don't mean to impose. This spot was selected because of its neutral standing between the many parties. We wished only to not find a place of bias amongst the parties involved.
Yes, indeed, and at the same time, not paying any interest in the welfare or even an invitation for any representatives from Liberio to join in this conversation. Liberio is part of the continent, too.
You're right.
You're right.
I can see if we can invite you. Would you like to? Do you want to come? It's
Yes.
probably going to be boring.
We're going to be invited to attend the meeting that we're hosting. I see you've got an interesting sense of humor to you, Sebastian Crow.
I've been told that, actually.
He's pretty funny.
I'm not very privy to the political situation here. I mean, you guys have great muffins and wine, but
Politics for it.
that's politics. I am just going with what I'm being told here. So, is there something I can do to help?
For the time being, none of the three of you are the monarchs of your nations. Although Lord Commander Prince Jackson, I understand that you have high levels of representation with your have the ear of your respective nations. Nonetheless, Liberio will participate in these conversations, even if it just simply is an observer, and our voices will be heard going forward. At the same time, in the interest of neutrality, I'm here to let you know that while the people of Liberio have voted to allow your monarchs to enter the city and meet here, under no terms is this meeting to be held in the legislature or the assembly. Our halls of government are sacrosanct and are not meant to be the place of bickering for your national interests. Thus, the only appropriate venue for this meeting is the Cathedral of Saint Fiona.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, being the Lord Commander, not only do I have the ear of the king, but the king's safety is my top priority. What is Libero doing to prepare this cathedral?
Well, I assure you that in the past several days we have had to triple the guard patrols just to quell the unrest from people in Liberio who are angered that this meeting is even happening in our city. So we have been stretched thin, but fortunately, as a great cathedral to the sacred flame, I am certain that it should be a safe place for these meetings.
You guys remember the last time we went to a cathedral?
That was a Drakkenheim cathedral, though. That
It's a weird cathedral.
that doesn't count. Drakkenheim, I mean, even the nicest places in Drakkenheim are full of trolls and monsters and minotaurs and paladins, all sorts of horrible monsters.
Isn't the Queen of Thieves centered here, though?
I mean,
She did give us trouble last time.
She has a secret base in the sewers, but I think she's trying to acquire millions of gold to buy an army right now. She might be preoccupied, unless she plans to rob all of the monarchs while they're in the same place at the same time. We're just walking into another Queen of Thieves trap. How is it that every time that we do anything, we're scared of the Queen of Thieves? Why? Why does that have to be a thing?
Because we've never been able to get ahead of her. Because she always has something planned.
I've gotten ahead of her twice now. I have stolen a scepter from her hideout after discovering it, and her first hideout was overrun with rats, which I still consider a victory if we ignore the massive damage that it did to Drakkenheim afterwards. But the Queen of Thieves was defeated twice by me. If from a certain point of view.
In what context? Fully, like you bested her?
Yes.
You don't trust that she doesn't have something planned. Having such a centered base of operations in this city.
We let her come to the funeral.
What funeral?
Lenore.
Oh man, you guys need to tell me the whole story at some point.
Are you telling me that you are aware that you have enemies who would almost certainly take advantage of this situation?
Lady, most people I meet are enemies and want to kill me. I'm gonna say like the ratio is like 95%. That's not a ratio, that's a percentage. Anyway, 95% of the people I meet are trying to kill me.
Math.
Math's always been my enemy.
Enemies, yes, but enemies who are already grounded in this city. We're already doing work beneath your noses.
You have issues with monarchs, but you let a lady who calls herself the Queen of Thieves walk in here and build a base of operation in your sewer system, so, no. There's that. Maybe you should up more guard patrols in the sewers?
You must understand, Sebastian Crow, that we do things differently in Liberio, and we value our liberties and our freedoms over certain things. When it comes to simply a matter of imposing martial law upon the free citizens of this city, that's a matter that we take very, very seriously. And yes, Liberio is no stranger to crime, but it is also a city that has a great deal of wealth and people from all nations passing through it. And part of the reason why it does is because we do not have jackbooted thugs on every street corner beating people up.
Well, I can.
They're in the sewers.
While I can respect that and the amazing things you've done here in Liberio, we also have to make sure, being such a dangerous time for our citizens and our monarchy, that I don't know, guys. I think we should check out this meeting place. Give it the thumbs up before Wilhelm gets here. What do you think?
Would that help?
It might just give us the edge because, in my current standing, I just feel responsible for his well-being, and if things are going to move forward like they're supposed to, Sebastian, we got to make sure that this, Wilhelm stays strong. We one of the big reasons why I think we had so much difficulty was that, the other heirs are just not. I just don't think they're ready. Like, George is just too young, and
the Queen of Thieves.
It's not. No. Just no.
So
Not even an option.
So with Wilhelm, he I know I make fun of him, but he cares a lot. He's got a good heart, and he's capable. So if we can make sure that he stays on there, it's just that after those assassin robots, like, that's just one incident. We could have plenty more coming our way, so we just need to stay ahead.
I agree. I agree that Wilhelm is probably our safest bet right now, but I have a feeling in the pit of my stomach that he's going to stir more pots before this time is through. He's going to unwittingly make enemies, and with the best of intentions, I feel like he's going to make some decisions that even him and I aren't going to see eye to eye on.
Disgusting. Just just to hear all of you bickering over who should sit on a throne. Have you ever tried asking the people of your nations what they thought?
Yes.
They're all monsters.
They all went to war with each other when we asked them what they thought.
They're all monsters.
They each wanted claim for themselves and started killing each other for 10 years. That's how Wilhelm's whole family died, because everybody wanted a piece of the political pie. It's not a very good
Things
pie.
can get very heated in the legislature, I assure you. But we in Liberio believe in the power of debate, collaboration, and even when we disagree on things and are shouting down each other's throats, we still manage to find ways to work together, ways to collaborate. And that's because we recognize that power must be
I'm going to have to run back to the XP
in the hands
booster.
of one person who is held up above all others. Even myself. My power comes from the legislature and the assembly. There's not a day that goes by that I forget that I have a responsibility to the people of Liberio. And if I fail them in that responsibility, then they have every right to eject me from my office. The people of your nations can't do this. They don't have a single say. They don't get any opportunity to make their voices known, to make their voices heard, to participate in your government unless they have the power and the money and the wealth to do so.
I appreciate what Liberio, the great, powerful nation of Liberio, has going on with its grand achievements. But you walked onto your balcony to talk to a wizard, the Lord Commander, and a prince about how our nations are not as good as yours, and I don't know what you want us to do about it.
I'm merely making comments about all of the bickering that you're having over who should sit on your thrones. That's all. That's all. In any case, you If I may be of any other assistance or help, I'm happy to offer it. I can see that my advice on your politics is not welcome, so I will back off politely. I'm sorry to have risen any ire, but you may go speak with High Flamekeeper Portia. She is the leader of the Cathedral of St. Fiona. If there is anything that you would like to inspect or ensure of to feel confident in the safety of this city, then I encourage you to do so. Should you require any resources, please allow me to know. However,
You have confirmed my fears, adventurer.
Liberio's security
Tell Marshal Dugan
and the security of your monarchs
death and report to him that
are
the
two
Murlocs in
separate
Eastern
concerns.
Elwyn cannot be contained
Do you
by our
understand that?
current troop presence.
Yeah.
I do
I know
agree.
we don't have many
And we will
troops to
be
spare, but hopefully
as
Dugan can
mindful
find
of that
someone.
as possible
Thanks a lot
as
for
we're
the
going
help,
through.
adventurer.
We don't
Something in
want
the
to.
forest must be making
Our
these
aim is not to
animals
come
so
and
bold.
disturb your
Whatever it
nation,
is,
but
I
it
hope it
is
stays
to
that way.
find a ground where we can find common ground together. The ground is common.
One thing we will need
Come
for
on.
our mission is probably another 4 to 6 bottles of wine from your wine cellar.
I have been a very gracious host for
And
you,
I thank you for that. And your continued grace is something that I will continue to thank and honor as time goes on. So just your hospitality I will sing about in years to come.
Very well.
Thank you.
I leave it to you for now. Once you are confident in the security of the city and of the Cathedral of St. Fiona, you are welcome to send for your leaders to begin your little gasconade.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Sebastian, we have to really sell this. So Lenore, we can't really, it's like iffy, but you know, we have Big Linda's head. We have, what else do we have? We have some trinkets.
Nice.
I think they're from Lenore.
Big Linda's head and some trinkets.
For the
Sounds
duel.
great.
For the duel, we really didn't think we had other choice. I think we had to just go with it. But then River and Eldrick were really mad at us, and I hope you don't take it personally. Like, we thought we were doing the right thing.
I'm fine. I knew that the Academy probably had a bunch of backup plans. Like, Pluto.
We didn't.
I've survived Drakkenheim. I touched the Delirium Heart. I faced paladins before. I've faced demons and monsters and a giant mountain of flesh in a throne room that almost blew my brain up. I'm not afraid of Illyria, of some guy with a hammer saying that, oh, we want Sebastian's head because he killed some paladins who were trying to murder his friend. Like, I regret having to kill Illyrians in Drakkenheim, but I don't regret protecting my friends from people who in the moment were threatening to wage war on us, were standing against us, and not obeying a direct command. I don't regret that. I regret what had to happen, but I would do it again.
So
This
what
news is
are you
troubling.
all going to
Already
do
our defenses
next?
are stretched thin, and losing Rolf and Malachi to those Murlocs
Head
put
to
us
the
in an even worse position.
I think we should
If
check out
things
the
don't
cathedral,
improve, there will be fighting in
make sure
Goldshire
everything's
by the
tip-top.
week's end.
Weren't
For
you?
your
I
shrewdness
thought
and
I,
valor,
River said
I
that
have a
you were in
marker here
charge,
that is
or
good
Eldrick
for one
said you
piece
were in
of
charge
armor.
of like
I want you to take it to
securing
Sarah
the
Timberlane at
place and
Eastvale logging
putting up
camp. Give her the marker,
wards
and she
and
will
stuff like
fashion
that.
the armor
Yeah.
for you. And after you receive
Yeah,
it,
isn't that your
adventurer,
job?
use it in the defense of Elwyn.
Yes.
The Eastvale logging camp is beyond Gartana.
Are you doing your job right now?
I was taking a break.
I just feel like you just don't really start the clock when
Greetings, Mage.
breaks.
Shall I provide
I
you
have
with
this
further
I have this
insight into
thing where
world
if the
of
work
magic?
doesn't when I'm given chores, it takes me a lot longer to do than this is how I was in school. This is what led to my expulsion. It was like, do your science homeworks. Science what? I don't know. Do your do your
You had
alchemy
science homework
homework.
in magic school.
It's a very important lesson. You need to understand how the actual
It
world
is-
works to
it's
break it.
essentially fiction. It's like, this is boring stuff. Here's the boring stuff. And
Yeah,
then
that's
wait
why I
till
didn't
show
pay
you what
attention
you
in
can do.
science. I paid attention in blowing up people.
Well, listen, we're really hoping you don't blow up the cathedral because I feel like that's going to cause us more problems. So
We
maybe
really need them on our
practice your
side.
spells in your head on the way, so that way we don't blow anything up.
Don't worry about me. And the whole wine thing, I take a few bottles of wine every time that I find her overly political or overly condescending. Then I just ask for more wine. It helps me get through her conversations about, she just talks all the time about politics, and I just have no idea what she's talking about because I'm just not paying attention. It's exhausting.
Very well. Do you guys want to continue conversing, or do you want to?
We'll head to the cathedral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll go.
Okay.
We're
The-
just excited to see each other. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yeah.
Just catch it up.
Okay. So, you head along the canals of Liberio through the city streets to the plaza where the Cathedral of Saint Fiona lies. Next to the Cathedral of Saint Fiona, the Cathedral of Saint Vitruvio in Drakkenheim may well as be a barn in terms of architectural construction. And that is saying something.
That is 6.
The Cathedral of St. Fiona is perhaps one of the most beautiful cathedrals in the entire continent, and many have compared it to the Cathedral of St. Tarna in Lumen, even. For it is a colossal white marble building. But unlike many of the domes, every cathedral and every chapel of the Sacred Flame is overall a circular building, right? With a dome being the central sort of architectural feature of the buildings themselves. And in the case of the Cathedral of St. Fiona, the dome is all metal and glass, decorated with all the scenes of the saints on all the panels. So there are these great ribs that reach up the dome of metal that secure the massive glass plates that form scenes of the valor of the saints of the Sacred Flame. And because of the way the glass is constructed, the brazier in the center of the cathedral, its light shines outward, illuminating all of the glass of the ceiling from within. So the entirety of the cathedral, with all of the scenes along the side, the entire cathedral is like a great lantern set down in the streets of Liberio.
I lean over to Sebastian and I point and I say, Sebastian, don't break that. Don't break it.
I don't break everything I touch.
You break a lot of things. Just saying. It's beautiful. Don't break it.
It's just a building. Have you guys seen the museum? Way cooler. Or the Enigma Ziggurat? Way cooler. This is just a place where they light fires and talk about, you know.
The about the area already,
Time to get rested XP.
there are several knights of the Silver Order that have been stationed around the cathedral, and already there are delegates from Caspia and Westamar as well that are acting as patrols, all of them joined by the city guard of Liberio itself. And parts of the plaza have been already, extra barricades have been put up, because as you approach the cathedral, you can see that a crowd has gathered near the cathedral off on one of the streets of citizens of Liberio, and they are shouting obscenities loudly at their discontent at the city being host to the events. There are people that and several of them are unveiling a painted sort of banner that says "No Kings."
See, this is why we come and check this out, because not only am I worried about the Queen of Thieves, but now I'm a little bit worried about the Liberians, if that's what they're called,
In
causing
Wilhelm?
them a little bit of trouble.
Wilhelm hasn't even been crowned king, so like, just tell them like, hey, there's no king. I mean, the High
Future
King.
potential king.
Yeah, that's different. That's a loophole. There's no
It is
kings
different.
coming here.
He's got like a lot of guards and stuff. It usually falls on me and Veo with Wilhelm.
I'm wondering if his entrance needs to be less of a parade and more of a sneak.
Sneak in the back door.
I think that's probably for the best if we just keep it, like, just get in, do our thing, get out. We don't need to make a show of it. These people don't want a show.
Yo,
They
the
want
tent went away.
theatrics. I mean,
Hope
just
someone
get
makes a
in there.
new one.
We'll do the, what is it, Cascade? We'll get out. What's the worst that could happen?
There it is.
What?
Hopefully nothing.
The worst.
Exactly.
The worst that can happen. Look, it's just good to have you back, Sebastian. We needed some different thinking on this. We were so caught up with the duel and you know, making sure that everyone likes us and that we're popular. And then look at you. You know, so many people don't like you, and you're not
Not a care in
popular,
the world.
And you don't care about any of that.
Thank you, Pluto.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really care about is that you two like me, and
Really? No one has any tent
that makes me
thingy?
so happy. But listen,
Big fan.
I've seen politics come and go. I never understand what the heck it's about, but listen, somebody can get crowned king, rule an empire, and then have a meteor crash into their city and kill them. And then it devolves into war for several years, and a bunch of other people who are like, I'm political too, and they all die. So in my experience, it's best to just go with it and do what you got to do and hope that you're on the right side.
I hope we are.
Stay jello.
As you approach the cathedral, one of the knights of the Silver Order steps forward and introduces himself. He's a young man but his complexion is hidden behind his helmet, and you can only just see the glimmer of his eyes behind his visor. And he says,
Yay, new
Lord
tent.
Commander and Prince Pluto Jackson, Sebastian Crow, correct?
Correct.
I am Sir Lewis. I've been told that the three of you are supposed to be allowed into the cathedral to check things out. We've done a very good job of making sure that things are secure here. The Silver Order has been present in the Cathedral of St. Fiona for generations. We've helped the Flame Keepers many times. I don't understand why you need to be involved in this, but it's this way.
We're certified cathedral inspectors.
Badge here somewhere.
And I'm sure you did a very adequate job, Silver Order Knight.
That's right. Our patrols have already even gone down into the sewers. We've swept all around, make sure that it's all completely clear. Everything in this area is secure. We even know all the places where your hooded lantern should stake out on the rooftops to make sure that no one throws anything to damage the glass of the great cathedral.
So, Lewis, was it?
Yes.
If we do find any problems or any dangers, what I'm hearing is that we should come to you directly because it'll be your lack of ability to catch these things. So if we do find something, it's on you?
Nothing could have evaded me and mine. I was sent by Uriel Radley to make sure everything was absolutely fine because we know that you're just going to be brutes about it. You're not going to be thorough, and you're going to disturb all the holy relics and sites that are kept here. Awful.
Sir Lewis, are you trying to insult the Lord Commander of Drakkenheim?
Not at all.
Because I feel quite insulted by that.
Not at all. Just be respectful of the history of this great cathedral. While it is not part of Illyria, it is as sacred to our faith as any cathedral. So be respectful when you go poking about.
We'll be respectful.
I have a sword of respect.
It's true.
Respect's my middle name.
Especially
Right.
Respect.
I'll tell my lanterns to go where I want them to go on the roofs that I want them to go on. It's still order, and it's telling me where my soldiers go.
Lewis, I think we're off to a bad start here. We're going to go in. We're going to honor the fact that this is sacred grounds. I know that I don't get along with the sacred flame, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go blowing up cathedrals. I do respect that this is a place that many people come to worship. Kindly, we just want to make sure that our friend and potential future king of Westamar is looked after. And I'm sure you've done an incredible job, but unfortunately the three of us, we got called in just to make sure. So we're going to lightly look around and just make sure it's all good, which I'm sure it will be because you've done such a fantastic job yourself.
Very well then. Well, this way I'll lead you in. You can meet the High Flame Keeper and do what you need to do.
Thank you, Lewis.
I mean, guys, I'm sure everything's fine, but definitely blaming it on him if anything happens.
I tried to be nice.
Not
How
our
did
fault.
how did it go?
You were excellent.
Nice.
Yeah.
You head up the great stairs towards the cathedral's entrance, where even the doors of the cathedral are made of framed glass that slide open as you head inside, revealing the great brazier of the sacred flame, which is on a dais at the center of the massive cavernous chamber. You estimate that probably upwards of 3,000 people or more could worship at the cathedral at one time, right? So the interior underneath the dome itself kind of forms a fully circular auditorium, almost like many of it's kind of this bowl shape that is raked with platforms for people to stand with kind of stepped that is stepped downwards. Then the brazier itself rises back upwards and marks the central altar. So yeah, it's a huge building, and it's made all the more impressive by the fact that the dome itself, there's no pillars on the inside that are supporting the dome. It's all based on the architecture and the kind of the metal framing that comes down the side. And then from the inside, you see how the the entire building may well be made of glass for that reason alone. Because the stained glass windows on the inside are basically separated only by columns that are then part of the overall sustaining of the rest of the building itself. There are 4 smaller towers that are on kind of the different cardinal directions of the overall circle of plan of the building, and each of those smaller towers provide kind of the rectories and the storage that the cathedral needs. The bell tower of the cathedral itself is actually a completely separate tower. So standing outside, there's a separate bell tower that rises up beside the cathedral. It's not built into the rest of the building itself. And so the 4 little towers that only reach up as high as the dome, they don't go higher than the dome. They stop kind of where the dome begins. Beneath them as well are also where it leads down to the crypts and the catacombs beneath the cathedral as well.
I like that they ask us not to break anything and then send us into a building made entirely of glass. I probably need to watch my spellcasting in here.
Yeah, we don't need to bring this place down before the meeting.
I mean, if there's no problems, then I won't need to do anything, but let's hope that there's no issues. If there are issues, I can simply cast something like Mending or Mage Hand. Let's hope there's no necessity for a fireball, because that'll be a problem.
As you enter, the High Flamekeeper, Portia, approaches you. She smiles warmly, and she says, "Welcome to the Heroes of Drakken Heim, and the bearer of the Blade of Saint Vitruvio. You are welcome in the Cathedral of Saint Fiona."
Oh, see, this is the kind of...
Thank you.
The other guy was mean. You're very nice. Thank you. Heroes. I like the sound of that.
Truly, anyone that bears the relics of a saint must be worthy of respect, Prince Polito Jackson.
The sword has taught me much. The sword continues to teach me. The sword is currently yelling at me. And I have learned to come to terms with who I am, not just through what the sword wants, but what the world needs of me.
Well, I assure you that the cathedral here is very safe. I have checked all the wards myself, made sure that the braziers are hallowed and the space is sanctified. No outside observers will spy on your meetings here. The perimeter is well protected and warded against any who would invade from other worlds or from teleporting from distant distances. And I am sure that you are concerned about the glass. But I assure you, the glass is tougher than any steel you might find otherwise. It has been tempered in the purest flames and has withstood the test of time and many sieges, I might add.
Sebastian, flames? Okay.
Well, it should be enough now for the next level.
Yes.
I don't mean any disrespect. But are you the Queen of Thieves? And you have to tell me. You have to actually tell me, because it's like you have to.
But I will continue tomorrow because I'm really tired.
You had to tell me. If it was
So,
true. I believe
catch you tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.
Good call.
And a good night.